Hello, everybody. Welcome to In the Guard, your one-stop shop for all things MMA, boxing, any kind of scuffle going out on the internet. We're going to break it down here, talk about it, and where we also firmly believe that is he won rounds 1, 2, and 3. I'm Mike.
I'm Tony.
And we're going to hear break down UFC Vegas 21. Fun card, strange card, lots of weird stuff happening, so a lot of stuff to talk about. So what'd you think?
All I can think is how I'm in the lead for the year.
Oh, I thought we were going to wait till all that come down when whiskey and wagers popped up.
No.
But yes.
Hell no.
Mike even dressed for the occasion.
So no
or
more
Tony dressed for the
no
occasion.
more tailing Mike.
Nope.
It's time to tail the tone.
The tortoise and the hare story is something that applies here.
Hashtag that. Tail the tone.
It's not about... Let's put some stakes on the line again, too. Notice he's talking now, but when stakes were on the line, he was very quiet, consuming that gummy bear.
Deep down, you know, I really wanted to eat the gummy bear.
Yeah.
I didn't want you to have that.
Well, I can
privilege on
understand because
camera.
once I ate it, I realized it wasn't as bad as you made it out to be.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But yes, Tony's in the lead, but luckily there's UFC cards like every fucking weekend, and there's a lot of time to make up 3 fights.
Which is not in Mike's best interest.
So, again, lots of stuff going down the card yesterday, starting with this main event. Leon Rocky Edwards making his return to the octagon versus Bilal. Remember the name, Mohammed, and the eye poke heard around the world, right?
Yeah, you got what, 5 minutes and 11 seconds to fight?
Yeah, it was Edwards looked good. One of the narratives coming in here was how Rocky going to look when he came back from that long layoff, right? Everyone knows he's a world-class fighter. He's top 5, top 3 to be exact, like right outside the title picture, just waiting for his shot. But how was he going to look after all this time, cancellations, and I think that first round he looked like he did not miss any time. He looked like he picked up where he
was
left off.
putting the beat down on Bilal.
Right.
They were going to remember his name for sure.
Bilal is a tough dude, so maybe
Yeah.
it takes one strike sometimes to turn a fight around. So who knows what would have happened in the course of 5 rounds? But in round 2, that eye poke again heard around the world. It was bad. Bilal wanted to continue. The doctor said no. As you can see in that picture we got up there, bleeding. Anytime you're bleeding from the eye, it's not a good sign.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm not a doctor. I can't totally say that. But, definitely did not look too good for him.
He took a good jab.
Yeah.
That's for sure, you know.
Well, it also feeds into the whole argument about the gloves in the UFC. Like, fighters complain over and over again how tough it is to keep your hands closed. I remember Justin Gaethje on Rogan was talking about after a fight, it's not his head, it's not his legs, it's not his body. What hurts him the most is his forearms from having to squeeze his hands closed to punch with those UFC gloves. It's like doing a forearm curl for
it's like us doing
25 minutes.
jiu-jitsu. You know, you play gi.
Right.
All week long from gripping the gi.
Yeah.
You can't even make a fist.
Right.
You wake up in the morning, you're like this.
When there is
you know?
plenty of better alternatives. I don't know who makes the UFC gloves, what the deal is. I don't know the business of it, why they're stuck there. They're so stubborn and staying with those gloves. But Trevor Whitman's gloves, everyone that tries them on says they're great. They feel great. They're good on their hands.
But you know what the problem with that is? That's homegrown, so that's going to cost.
Hey,
You know?
I'm pretty sure
There's no sketchy labor involved.
that's true. I'm pretty sure it would probably be a similar price what they're paying for their gloves right now, and it would solve a problem. They have their old Pride gloves that would work a little bit better. There's lots of alternatives they could do.
Just pair it up with the Pride rules. We're good to go.
Especially, was it Chiesa saying it in post-fight conference? He was saying how a lot of times these guys in sparring and practice, they're wearing the boxing gloves, and they're able to do that with the boxing gloves. There's so much padding, they're used to it, and that pattern becomes the way they set their timing up, so they're doing this.
Well, they're parrying a lot, too. So
they're used to putting their hand out there with that boxing glove where that's not going to be an issue, and they go in the fight, and that's when the eye pokes come. Because this isn't the first time someone's been eye poked, especially if they keep those gloves. This won't be the last time.
Yeah.
But, again, it ended the night on a sour note for sure. And it felt bad for Mohammed.
It's definitely shitty because I think, Mohammed would have probably pushed it to the 5th round. But, I mean, the whole left side of Leon's body is like you blink, you miss it.
Well,
like the head kicks, the straight lefts. It's just
judging by the first round, it looks like Leon was going to go 50-45, right?
Yeah.
Again, it takes 1 second, maybe a takedown, maybe someday Bilal gets some momentum. Who knows what could happen in the course of a fight?
The tide can easily turn.
A lot of stuff could happen. Kind of like, look at the Figgy Moreno fight. Like Figgy came out, looked good, then Moreno hit that one couple of combos, then the nut shot around the world, turned it around. So who knows what could have happened through a course of 5 rounds? But it looked like Leon was going to be in control of that fight. But for Bilal, like, that's your shot. You took this short notice fight. You get this main event. You're fighting a top 5 guy. For it to go down like that sucks. I'm pretty sure he'd rather get beaten 50-45 than that happen.
So what do? We run it back, or we say, no, let's get Edwards and Covington, probably what it should have been all along?
I probably would go that route for sure. But I would like to see Mohammed get a top 5 guy again. Why not?
Well, Edwards says he's not interested in a rematch and wants a title shot.
Well, I don't think that's really his call. I don't think he's in a position to
like
make.
Who are you to say that?
Like he's not like I think Kobe has more to say about who he fights next than anybody in that division because he beat the former champ, handily last time they fought. His only loss was to Usman. Other than that, he's been beating the shit out of everybody. Where Leon's had this long layoff. And yeah, if he got a title shot, like, okay, I can see that. He deserves it. But I don't think he's in a position to call on shots. If Dana calls him and said, you got to do a rematch, he should have no argument. Like, you have to do this. Does it need to happen? I don't think it does. It was the last second, like, replacement match anyway.
Yeah.
What I would like to see is, see how Bilal heals up and give him Wonder Boy.
Another tough fight.
Right. But if you looked at him and Edwards had the same record.
Yeah.
They're both obviously different opponents and shit like that. But they're both 18-3. And yeah, he was losing. He didn't look like he didn't belong in the cage with Edwards. I wouldn't say that. So I think he deserves another top guy for sure. If you're not going to run this back, give him a guy in the top 5 or maybe a Chiesa, somebody that's right outside the top 5. Somebody give him that he deserves, like a top guy to try to prove himself. That's what he wants to do. He wants to fight good competition to get himself higher standard, move closer to the top 5, and eventually try to get a title shot.
I mean, I guess I can understand Leon Edwards' frustration. The depth of this division's not there. And this fight before Mohammed. You win, you're going to get a title shot.
I got it. It's in the top of my head right now. Let's solve this the way it should be done. BMF title, Bilal Mohammed versus Jorge Masvidal. Let's do it. Hey, Bilal's a bad motherfucker. Why not?
Man.
Who else is Masvidal going to fight?
Not Bilal Mohammed.
Why not?
They probably beat the brakes off Bilal Mohammed. Come on.
You think he's better than Leon Edwards, Jorge Masvidal? No, you don't. You have to think that hard. There's no way that Leon Edwards is a way better fighter than Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah, but Jorge Masvidal is
he's an up and down tough guy.
But he's
kind of like Bilal Muhammad.
He's a crowd pleaser.
Hey, Bilal.
That's what the people want.
Hey, and then he'll be the heel, and you have Bilal be the baby face. Everybody wants to come and win, and whoever wins that fight gets catapulted. He had to defend that BMF title. He hasn't defended it once.
He's got to defend it against another BMF, man.
Bilal's a bad motherfucker, man. Why not?
He's got one eye now.
Even better.
Got no depth perception.
That's even better. That makes that adds to the resume. It doesn't take away. But yeah, Rocky. Honestly,
one leg man and ass.
Probably the right thing to do would be to run this back. Why not? But I can see why Leon Edwards wouldn't want to do that. But to say
run it back as a featured prelim.
No, it shouldn't be a main event. But it was never meant to be a main event.
Yeah,
it was never meant to be a main. It just kind of circumstance made it happen. But yeah, that's all about that. Again, the fight really ended before it started going, which a lot of these fights did, but for other reasons, right?
Yeah.
You have anything else to say about? There's not really much to talk about in this fight, right?
No,
right.
It's over. Fucking second round.
Well, we'll go on to the next one then. Again, not much to talk about in this fight, but definitely for a different reason. It's Misha Serkinov versus Ryan Spann, battle of 2 top 15 light heavyweights, and the fight that made me, disregard weigh-in narratives for the rest of my life.
Yeah, because he did not look good at the weigh-ins.
Man, on Friday, Ryan Spann looked like a fucking zombie.
He was the last to weigh in, wasn't he?
He was the last to weigh. He missed first and to go back, and he still ended up getting to 206. Yeah. And then when they did a stare down, he looked all depressed and down, and I don't know if he was playing possum or what.
I mean, how would last minute,
But so I was like, there's no way. We got Serkinov, who looks like a damn, straight from a central casting of fucking villain in a James Bond movie, right?
Yeah.
Ready to fucking tear his head off. I knew this was going to be a quick fight, right? Both these guys have between them 25 first round finishes. And it was a first round finish for sure, but it went the other way. And Spann.
Spann had some pop. He had some pop last night.
And we kind of talked about this when we were breaking this fight down. It was going to be a quick, fast, and furious. Spann's the type of guy who is very good, but puts himself in bad situations. And that's kind of where I thought he would end up here and get. I had Serkinov. We'll talk about whiskey and wagers later. I thought he'd get done in the first round. I guessed the round right. I just got the winner wrong. Spann caught him with that fucking straight right and just put him down. And it was
he swarmed him from there.
Yeah,
that's all we got to say about that.
So Spann, Serkinov, I think that puts him outside of the top 15. Spann, I forget what they were talking about. They talked about who he should fight next, and I really think that's a great idea. Let me see. I think I saved it in my phone, but definitely a top 5 guy or top 10 guy. I'm sorry. Misha, this is pretty bad loss for him after he came off a bad loss. Here we go. Ryan Spann. Oh yeah, Paul Craig. Ryan Spann and
Paul Craig was supposed to fight Jamal Hill. And Jamal Hill withdrew, right?
Because of COVID. So I don't know where that's gonna go. But I like the pairing.
I like that fight. That's a good fight.
Right. I like that fight. And Misha, maybe give him Jamal Hill.
Yeah.
And if he lose that one, peace out, Misha. back to the OC with you. So that's why we go from there. Again,
one of those where
these fights mostly ended really fucking quick last night, so there's not a lot to break down. Going on to that next fight.
Speaking of quick, the one hit quitter.
Yeah, one strike.
Living up to the living up to the nickname.
Dan Ige versus Gavin Tucker, the governor, who I was very, very high on. His last fight against Billy Q won me over. I had Billy Q, going away in that fight, and Gavin Tucker just showed that he can go.
Well, I mean, this was a last, like, not so much last minute, but I mean, Gavin Tucker stepped up at the plate here too. Ige drew Hall. Hall withdrew, for his reasons, and Tucker's like, I'm game.
Right, and kind of goes to the point of, I guess, levels in this shit. But then also anyone can get caught at any point in time, right? A flash knockout is hard to judge a fight, whether either the guy Ige knocking him out or Tucker getting knocked out because
right place, right time.
Boom! It just takes
wrong time
one.
For Tucker.
Just takes one, and good for Ige. You got the extra $50K. Hey, baby, on the way. It's a good time to get it. Trust me, having 2 kids, an extra $50,000 is nice to get.
2 fucking awesome nicknames though. $50K.
And the
Governor.
I like to see Gavin Tucker get another top 15 guy his next fight. Ige, he called out Korean Zombie, and I love that.
That's a good fight.
That's
a great
that
fight.
Fucking
That's
idea.
a great fight, yeah. Because they're right there in that same range.
So do you want to break this down more, or do you want to go to your boy?
No, let's go to my boy. I'm so mad I didn't just go ahead and pull the trigger on the podcast. I had a feeling.
I'll let you break this one.
Fucking
introduce it and break
Grant,
it down.
like you love the guy's grit. He's got that blue collar feel. He's just fucking scrappy, man. It's like he fucking just got off work. He just threw his fucking lunchbox in the trunk and's like, let's go right here. Turn on the fucking headlights. We're gonna dance. But no, like in true Davey Grant style, the first round he looks like it's over. He's gonna get finished. Martinez is putting him on him, but no, not Davey Grant.
Yeah, I was high on John Martinez.
The dude's headbutting cinder blocks on the construction side or something.
I didn't want to believe the hype of Davey Grant. Right, he had that workman ethic. He caught Martin Day with that late knockout.
It just looks like you're every day.
You did, yeah. And if you ever watch Davey
He's
Grant,
like bagging your groceries fucking at the grocery store or something,
Either that or a retired DJ. but he can't throw a straight punch, I don't think. The way his body, his musculature, and his skeletal system looks like he can only throw hooks, but they're fucking deadly.
He looks like one of those, remember those little hand things you could like spin around and the balls go. He's like this.
Yeah.
And he goes body head, body head.
All hip rotation. Like I said, first round, J Mart had him on the ropes, kind of got saved by the bell, and I was talking all that shit because I had J Mart. And Tony went with Dangerous Davey Grant.
It's the name, Dangerous Davey.
But second round, I was like, holy shit, Davey Grant is back in this. Davey Grant's putting it on him. And then he hit that 1-2 body head.
He doesn't even kick straight. His kicks are like hooks. Yeah, everything is
they're like shin. They're like shin push kicks. But he caught that fucking right hook and put J Mart's lights out. So it just shows like Davey Grant, unorthodox, not impressive, but he could put your fucking lights out.
He's fun to watch, man.
J Mart's a really good fighter.
Yeah, as well.
Put him to sleep. Like Martin Day's an up and down guy, right? So he kind of could be beaten. But J Mart, there's big aspirations for him. There's thoughts that he can break in that division and go up high.
Who are they talking? Davey Grant and who? We were just talking about it.
Oh, Hani Barcelos.
This is 135, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm not betting against Davey Grant.
It just shows that
I'm not doing
Davey's the underdog, I'm taking him. That's what Davey Grant had cemented. If he goes into a fight as underdog, I'm gonna put a little bit of coin on him because he's got that fucking power to put you to sleep. At 135, he can put people out. I'd like to see Davey Grant and Sugar. That'd be
they don't want to do that to Sugar.
That'd be so like counter styles. It'd be so great.
Fucking Davey Grant.
J Mart again, kind of back to the drawing board. You lose to Davey Grant.
What do you mean you lose to Davey Grant? Yo. The fuck?
Oh man.
Paper or plastic?
It's time to start rethinking your MMA career. Maybe the vision change. I don't know what it may be. Davey Grant. You just locked the Jack the Ripper. That's Jack the Ripper. That should be his new nickname because he fucking kills people in the dead of the night. Oh, fucking great.
Bait you in.
Hey, go watch Davey Grant's film. You'll laugh like we are if you never seen it. Next fight.
Great fight.
This was the controversy of the night, which I don't understand. I think there's a fight later in the card that was way worse a decision than this one.
Yeah, I don't see a controversy.
But Manuel Cape versus Matthias Nicolau. Cape on a quick turnaround. Cape was actually fighting that card where we had our fight companion a month back or so. He was on that card against Pantoja.
Yeah.
And Cape's got lots of hype behind him. He's got lots of promise, and he does have lots of skill, but he is very inactive in there.
So he's a very slow starter.
Right.
When he gets going, he's very flashy without setting up the flashy stuff. He just throws it out there.
When he throws,
he gets hit. He's got a great chin.
When
he can take the
throws
punches.
multiple strikes, he is fucking good. He is really good. When he tries to load up for that big, heavier, fancy, or throw a knee, or just throw that one punch, that is when he starts letting himself slip.
But he gets hit a lot too.
And I think that comes from, he's coming from, I think LFA. It's where he fought last, and he's probably so much better than that competition. He could fuck around like that. He doesn't have to be as sharp. And he got away with that because his talent was so much higher than what he was fighting. Now in the UFC, the talent gap is not going to be there, and that inactivity is costing him. It's cost him 2 fights now because the first round he blew that because he was inactive. Nicolo gets him down and almost chokes him out. He almost had that guillotine on him in that first round. He escapes it and ends up losing that round. Round 2, we saw what Cape can be. He looked sharp. He was hitting combos. He was great striking.
That was his round for sure.
For sure. No question. Cape was around.
Third round, he loses I would say he comes out good. Then he loses the meat and potatoes of the round.
The third round is so razor thin. It's hard for me to say. I edged Matthias Nicolau just because the end of the fight, he pressed him against the cage, hit him with a couple good shots, and then that was how the fight ended. So I was like, okay, these guys went back and forth, almost identical strikes in the third round.
But I would say this is like, what do you value more? Do you value more the points, the total accumulation of shots, or do you value the damage? Because Cap had Nicolau rocked in that third round.
But if you could look at the third round stats,
but Nicolau was
if you look at significant strikes in the third round,
touching him up
round by stats per round. Third round,
it's like almost identical.
Yeah,
it's pretty
31-27, 35-28. So it's so close that obviously a judge is not going to notice it's different when it's 31-27. They're not counting it in their head. That's going to look exactly the same. And round by round, it doesn't matter if you had it, because he hit him pretty hard in the second round. Matthias was rocked in that second round a couple times for sure, but it doesn't carry over. You get your 10-9, you move on. And at the end of the fight, when it's really, really close like that, the guy who's aggressive at the end, looks like he's in control at the end, is going to probably get that edge. And that's why he got it from those 2 judges. Now, if they came back and Cape got that third round, I would be like, oh, that's a travesty. That's a robbery. Yeah, he fought. It's such an even fight. It was such an even round.
Yeah, it's too close.
And if they had 3 different judges, he might have won. Or if they had 3 different judges, it might have been a unanimous decision for Matthias. It's just a matter of who's sitting in that chair at that time. And also, people got to realize, too, is the judges are seeing the fight from different angles, too. So how did he see it that way? There's no way. He's watching it from this side of the room, so maybe from that side of the room, if it's a close fight, it looks like Nicolau had the edge.
I mean, it's no surprise, too, that like the commentators are watching on a teleprompter.
Right.
They're not even watching through the ring.
Right.
They're watching on a screen.
They're seeing what we see on TV. We see every top angle.
Yeah.
We see everything that goes on.
So it's like if you're on the far side of the cage, it's going to be a lot harder to see. And they're actually looking up, too.
Right. Through the chain link and all that shit. So, again, both guys put on good performances. Both guys, I think, have some promise going forward. Cape just needs to get more active in there. I think if he starts a fight like he started round 2, he would have won this fight going away because he would have damaged without Matthias early, and then would have carried over for the rest of the fight. Yeah. But he waited too long to get going, and that kind of hurt him against Pantoja, and it hurt him here. But again, I see why people are high on him for sure. He's got the talent in him.
Well, then do we know what do we think's next for Matthias?
Well,
I mean, that division is
that is 125, right?
So if I bring up
so what is that? The flyweight
right there, number 2. So I mean, if we're going towards the,
let's give him.
Sue. No.
I saw some people I kind of liked it. Amir Albazi. I like that idea with him. Albazi's a great wrestler, right? Wants to go ahead and get there physical with you.
Shit, Tim Elliott's off a win.
Tim Elliott called somebody out. Who did he call out?
I don't know. Probably another wife beater.
Yeah, probably.
Not Greg Hardy, unfortunately.
I mean, it could be that these other guys went down, which brought him up.
Yeah,
right?
Matt Schnell's on a win, but he's up there. He's 8. He needs
I like Amir Albazi. Albazi won his last fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
He moved down. Again, I like the style of matchup because Albazi's biggest strength is wrestling, and he's a high prospect for sure. But how's he gonna do taking against Zumagov? Yeah.
And he's won both his last fights.
So taking him down to the ground might not be good for him with the way Hernal can grapple on the floor. So maybe see if he gets through that test, and if Hernal beats him, then you put him in that top 15 and then go from there.
Yeah.
Whereas Cape takes, I don't know, a step back.
What about Bontaran? Bontaran just lost to Cara France.
I think that's a really good fight for sure. Bontaran, who looked good early in that France fight too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's one more fight on the
Another
main card.
sketchy finish. The knees.
This is Jan 2.0 here.
Man, Eric, did you see that tweet too? That Eric Anders. This next fight, Eric Anders versus Darren Stewart.
Yeah.
Another no contest. 2 no contests. We did not count that in an overall record, guys.
But seeing a little bit of a
both
vintage
out.
Eric Anders here before the knee, right? He was.
Well, I
working
actually,
Stewart.
Eric Anders been working. I forget the camp, but Henry Cejudo's there. Patricky Pupo's down there. A lot of the top smaller guys. And I honestly thought that might hurt him, like working with smaller guys, being a big fish, small pond. How much of their skill set's going to come to him? But it showed it worked for sure. Eric Anders is a tough dude.
Yeah.
The beating he took from Khalil and Roundtree in that fight with those leg kicks, then did not go down.
Well, he's an all-around athlete,
right.
you know. I mean,
so I know he had the toughness to make in the UFC. And Darren Stewart is a vet who I keep saying beat Kevin Holland in the fight they had. It was a split decision that Kevin Holland got. Kevin Holland even said that was too close. We need to run that back. And Kevin Holland likes to talk shit about everybody. He even said that this guy might have beat me. So Darren Stewart's a real good fighter. Yeah. He looks like somebody tried to create Tyron Woodley in UFC 4.
yeah, he's like the British Tyron Woodley.
Yeah. So pretty good all-around fighter, but Anders was fucking lighting him up. Knees.
Yeah, I mean, but these are almost 2 different weight classes. Like Anders is a big
huge.
boy.
The fact he gets down to middleweight is amazing. He played linebacker for University of Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, one of the most biggest powerhouse for those of you who don't watch football, one of the biggest powerhouse football programs at, and they don't have small linebackers.
It's like the Miami Hurricanes this day and age.
He's a big dude to get down to 180. So that size showed, and he was just mauling Darren Stewart, but the illegal knee comes into play. This one was ruled unintentional, though. And a lot of people are throwing up in the air, like, oh, how did Aljo get the win? They broke down the rules during the broadcast, and apparently for one, it was ruled an unintentional knee. So that way, that's why it becomes a no contest. 2, Stewart said he was good to go, but the doctor said, no, you can't. So that's another reason they didn't take it away from it. And 3, if that would have happened in, like, the 3rd round, apparently they would have went to the cards, and they would have went from there. So that's why it was a no contest and not a win. It's not a big conspiracy or nothing like that. There's a bunch of checkpoints of why that didn't happen. But Stewart wanted to continue. He told him, I'm good to go. He took a couple steps, and the doctor said, he's not standing good.
Not happening.
So maybe we'll run this one back. I think this one should be run back.
Yeah, and before we get to the undercard, we'll take a break for our future sponsors.
Howlerhead.
You know, Bananas Gone Crazy.
Yeah,
guaranteed
man.
to contain no ape shit.
There you go.
So stay tuned for that future sponsorship there.
The sponsor before the sponsor. I like that. That was totally off the cuff, everybody. That was not planned. I'm all for it, though. I love it. I love it.
Let's make some noise.
There we go.
Yeah, now that, what's his name? Connor's no longer with
Proper. I guess he doubled his
net
worth from it, though. So good job to him. Get in, get out.
Every
Did you
paycheck,
see
I
the
double
video
my
where he
net
goes
worth.
into one of the stores, like a 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
And he buys his own liquor, and how much is it? And they're like, 80 quid. And he's like, holy shit, this fucking shit's expensive here for $7.50. 80 quid.
Oh man. So we get to the prelims here.
Yeah, let's jump into the prelims.
So this one's you. I didn't watch this fight.
So this one was Angela Hill versus Ashley Yoder. Basically was a stereotypical Angela Hill match. She was great on the feet. She's an awesome striker in that division. She's one of the people that
great Muay Thai.
Oh, amazing. And her record does not do her justice. She's had a couple bad decisions in her time, and I almost thought this was going to be another one. She was clearly winning this fight. I had a 30-27 her, but in the 2nd and 3rd round, she's in for a control, winning, goes for a crazy knee in the 2nd round. Yoder takes it to the ground, and that round finishes with Yoder on top trying to hunt submissions and trying to go for that. Same thing happens in round number 3. Hill's in charge. She's winning maybe 75% of the round. Yoder gets her back down to the floor, and Angela Hill loves to play these close decision fights. That's why she has that record that doesn't really reflect how good she really is. But I'm glad she finally get the win. Even though I didn't pick Yoder because I was running with the streak. If the bet, take Angela Hill loses by decision because she loses tough decisions. But she got to pull this one off, and she's one of the best women in that division. I think she has like the 2nd most wins to Joanna in that division. Yeah. Like her strikings, like the strikes landed is like the highest in strawweight hit. She's almost every strawweight record. She's right there with it. She's 20 fights or some shit like that.
Yeah, she's one of the most active.
I would love to see her get a title shot before it's done. She's such a nice girl. She's cool, and her fucking grandfather was abducted by aliens. Betty and Barney Hill, the most infamous story about them losing time and shit like that. That's her grandparents. Okay. So how cool is that? So, but yeah, she's an awesome person. She's cool, always in a good mood, and a great fighter to boot. Again, has some tough losses. I'd like to see her get Tesha Torres. The fight
Yeah,
that
let's
was
make it
supposed to
happen.
Tesha seems
Tesha,
to be
you do kind of look like you're ducking, Tesha.
she does seem
Come
to be
on.
ducking her for sure. And
You got that win over that last-minute replacement, Sam Nobody
and
Hughes.
the winner of that one
You know?
for sure goes right back to the title picture, right?
Yeah.
You're right in that title picture.
Don't
Some
duck.
people are whispering Joanna. I think that's too big of a jump.
I don't know. Why not?
Well, I don't think it's a talent jump, no, but I think as far as like rankings jump. Because,
Yeah.
like, again, she's came off a loss before this.
Where's Claudia Gagella at? What's she doing?
I like the Tesha Torres one.
Yeah.
It was supposed to happen. We were supposed to get that fight anyway. Tesha got that late second chick who just quit in the middle of the fight.
Gagella 7. Yeah. We already got Darren fighting Ansarov. Esparza's fighting Jan.
Yeah,
So many damn Jans, man.
I'm all for.
Who's he? Did they book Hebos?
No, not yet. That was like a month or two ago.
Hebos Jandaroba.
I like Tesha Torres. I would do that. I would even have he was on Jandaroba is actually a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
Hill Torres, yeah.
As far as
Waterson
she is what
Gagella.
she is,
Waterson
man.
Rodriguez might be nice.
Yeah, where's Waterson?
I don't know. She's
Doing-
chilling, man.
Just 8. Yeah.
What's she been doing lately?
And
Yeah, let's get that Tesha Torres, Angela Hill fight. That needs to happen. It should have happened. We got robbed of it.
yeah.
And
Oh, this was
Yeah,
a banger
Yoder-
for the 2 rounds that I saw. This next one.
this next one was the fight of the night. in
Charles
my opinion.
Air Jourdain, Marcelo Rojo.
This is the fight of the night. Fight me. This was
Pitbull.
amazing. Marcelo Rojo came in on short notice. If you don't know who he is, you might have seen him on Twitter or Instagram. He's the guy who does the Velociraptor celebration when he knocks people out. He's fucking great impersonation of a raptor.
Yeah.
But he was fucking game in this fight. The first 2 rounds, he might have won those. Like they're close neck and neck. Even to the point where after round number 2, Charles Jourdain's corner told him, "You might need to finish to win this fight, or you're gonna lose." And Jourdain goes, "I'm not gonna fucking lose. I'm gonna be
He
champion."
turned it to 10.
And he just turned up in round 3.
Yeah.
He beat the shit out of Marcelo Rojo.
That's one word for it.
Yeah, I sent Tony a picture of Rojo's face
Marcelo was
today.
red.
Yeah, but coming on short notice, he looked good. He was really good. Jourdain, kind of another guy that likes to play these fights close, but he hit that.
He's got a
gear
lot of
in-
hype too, and
but
it's
in
like makes you
but in
nervous.
round 3, you saw it. That's where the hype comes from. He turned that gear up, that extra gear.
Yeah.
That totally we let strikes really close. Like Rojo wins
Yeah,
round
we're
1.
just round 3. It's
Round 2, he takes it a little bit. Round 3,
43, yeah.
43 to 12. He just fucking hit another
two
level.
2 knockdowns.
Yeah, 2 knockdowns that just totally, and it put all doubt to it. And that's what I like to see because anyone who's watched or listened to one of these fucking shows knows I hate judges' decisions. They seem to always fuck up every card. We're talking about a fucked up decision. We're gonna talk about a bad one in a couple of minutes here. But yeah, Jourdain took matters in his own hand, like you should in a fight.
Yeah. We had another good
My
one
boy,
here.
Ronnie Yaha.
Ronnie Yaha and Ray Rodriguez.
Yaha, a veteran of the game. Ray Rodriguez, another late second add-on, right?
Yeah, he pretty much gets this fight to the ground, right? Spends about a round and a half searching that arm triangle, setting it up, and eventually gets it.
I knew this was a bad matchup for Ray Rodriguez, a man who likes to hunt submissions himself, going against one of the best grapplers in that division in UFC history. Like he is just, that fight goes to the ground. He's like, what is this, 135?
Yes.
He's like the Damian Maya of the bantamweights.
Yeah, yes. That's a good comparison.
Ronnie is just totally, if you go to the ground with him, you're probably not coming back up. And that's what showed up in the tape, in the fight. Yaha getting that submission. Yaha, good name. Hani Yahya.
Yeah.
My favorite name in UFC.
Yeah, that one went about as expected.
Right.
The next fight, the fight before this was really good. Nasrat Hakparast and Rafa Garcia, man.
Are you Kevin Gastelum?
Yeah.
Is that Kevin
Yeah.
Gastelum? Or is it not? In fact, Brendan
Are the Germans
Fitzgerald
cloning
actually
again?
called him Kelvin Gastelum in the broadcast in the middle of the fight.
Fitzy.
I tweeted that picture next to neck. It's like a motivated version of Kevin Gastelum because he actually cut. But Hasbros was a big favorite in this fight.
He kind of looks like Gastelum and
late-
Albazi mixed.
A late addition to the card, right?
No, Hoffa was.
Right. But they
So
almost said-
Hakparast was supposed to fight.
he was a replacement for somebody else. Like
Was he? And then they
was-
replaced him?
And then the person he was fighting had to get replaced. And so this was kind of a shit show to begin with. But Hoffa came through and was
He was game, like
he was game.
He was game through 3 rounds too,
to the point where Nasraz had to eke out a close decision.
yeah. But I'd like to see him have a full camp and come back, Hoffa.
Right.
All right, now
Yeah.
let's go to the controversy
This
of
was
the night.
a fucking terrible decision.
Yes.
One of the worst. Again, semi-jokingly was talking about how bad the fucking Izzy decision was last week, right? That's
Yeah.
more my fandom coming out. This was fucking terrible. I got to the point where I tweeted about it, and Courtney Casey retweeted it. She's like, yeah. And I wasn't the only person. Like, look at those numbers up there. She would beat the shit out of J.J. Aldridge for the majority of a round, and then Aldridge would eke out a
take her down and
lay
ride
on her
it out.
and ride out the round. But the damage done in every single round was by Courtney Casey. And if Courtney Casey lost this fight, so did Angela Hill. And I don't think Angela Hill lost that fight at all. Because the same kind of concept. There was, look at the significant strikes throughout the rounds.
It's pretty brutal.
It's so one-sided. Round 2, maybe you can give it to her.
And you guys said there was a few of those takedowns that, you know, Casey, bad decision, got her taken down.
And
it wasn't like.
And if you want to talk about it was a close fight, if you look at JJ's fucking head at the end of the fight, she was beat up, bruised, swelled up, bleeding, where Courtney Casey didn't look like she got in a goddamn fight. So this was terrible. We both had Courtney Casey picked, so it's not just me trying to get my record a little bit closer. It wouldn't have benefited me anymore. Yeah. But it was just a bad decision. And Courtney Casey's a veteran who has some losses on her schedule. You know, lower card people, they really depend on that win bonus, right? They're working their ass off. They get their show money, which is a little bit, that win bonus, and also if they get a fight of the night type, a bonus like that. But that win bonus is huge for them. For a fucking judge to fuck her over is terrible, especially these lower level cards, because they're not getting
because they're not fighting that
they're not
often,
getting
right?
this, and they're not getting a 6-figure deal to show like some people are on the main card. You know?
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
She got fucked.
She got screwed over, and now she might be out of the UFC because of it. With that record, like her record's like 12-9.
No, she's like 9-9, I think.
It's like really close. It's like almost 500. It's really yeah. Next fight,
Do
Jin Frey.
Do we have to?
Yeah, I mean,
don't we get one skip per thing?
Yeah, Jin Frey.
They kind of look like sisters.
They actually do. Gloria DePauja from the Contender Series. So I bet against her in the Contender Series, and she fucking fucked me over by beating Macias. And now she goes and fucks me over by bet for her in the actual fight. Jin Frey is a former Invictus atomweight champion, so 105. They don't have her division in UFC, so she is undersized. She's a talented fighter, really good on the feet, but it seems like every fight she's had in the UFC, she comes out strong, and like the size just overwhelms her. It's just too much. Yeah. Late in the fight, she ends up losing. She fucking manhandled Gloria DePauja throughout this whole fucking fight.
Supposedly she's been working with a mental coach, getting her mind right.
I mean, she is a world champion. Like Invicta, again, it's not the biggest federation, but
she's shredded.
For atomweight, where else do you go? So she basically was the best atomweight in the world for how long, you know? So she has the talent in her. To see the size overcame, and the fact that DePauja, who I think is was getting out grappled by Jin Frey, who every fight up to this, she looked like she was lost on her back, on her feet. She couldn't. Once someone grabbed her, it was over with.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just an experience thing. Like, you know, coming off the Contender Series, a lot of these people do look good, but I mean, the step up from Contender Series to
the fight in
the big show
champion
is big.
But the thing is, like, I mean, Jin Frey lost to Kay Hansen.
Yeah.
Who's not a kid too.
You know, it's like, you know, you're going out.
I'm not denying Kay Hansen. Hansen's a very good, very great jiu-jitsu, the 10th planet black belt, but she doesn't have that much experience either. So I don't think it's an experience thing. I think it's just a skill thing.
Yeah, I think it's more well-rounded, you know, toolkit.
Right.
You know, you're not skipping steps. It's not like skipping a step competition-wise. Right. It's like you're broad jumping from bottom step to the 6th step.
Oh yeah,
right.
What probably got like 5 pro fights only.
Something like that.
Yeah, like.
And she beat Macias, who was just pretty much known for her
3
judo
fights or whatever. Yeah.
There's no MMA. She's judo.
So she was on that train with Ronda Rousey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so again, I don't know about the future for this one. I think that saved Fry's job.
Yeah.
I lost there. She might have been gone. But
Frey would have lost that.
She might have been axed off.
Here's your ticket.
But yeah, so she'll probably fight another up and comer. If she wins that, maybe she'll start getting some serious consideration. And lastly, not much to talk about this one. It's so funny when this fight's going down. I had Jason Witt, Tony had Smellsberger. We both, like, as I'm talking right before the fight, I go, this fight's gonna be quick.
Yeah.
I had Witt's side. I thought Witt was gonna get the sub, but I knew this thing was not going on. I actually took the under 1.5, and Smellsberger just fucking iced it.
You know, and I'd pick Semmelsberger not knowing he had cut his mullet. So when he shows up in that fucking octagon,
he's a big dude.
He didn't have the mullet. Yeah, he's a big
one.
Both these guys are big guys.
The Vanilla Gorilla for sure. Basically, this was going to go one of two ways. Like it did, where Smellsberger fucking iced him with that big shot, or Jason Witt would be able to get him to the ground and tap
smother him and tap him.
And it turned out that Smellsberger
found
the defense for leg kicks, right?
Especially when it's a lazy one.
Yeah, Jason Witt, you know, leg kicks have been the talk of the MMA world. Threw a lazy low calf kick. Yeah. He was in punching range. He didn't kind of fucking set it up with nothing. And Smellsberger just fucking clocked him. It was bad.
And that was it.
What a way to start a card.
Yeah.
Overall, fun night for sure. Lots of stuff to talk about. Kind of bummed for that main event.
Well, that and the fact that there was already another DQ earlier in the card, right? That's what kind of frustrated me.
Yeah, but I think that didn't frustrate me as much because it wasn't as circumstantial. Like, yeah, Anders and Stewart, they're both kind of mid-level guys. I think Anders has a little bit more ceiling for sure than Stewart. I think Stewart's kind of where he's going to be. But like this was two guys. One guy that's definitely in the title picture where Mohammed could vault himself into that conversation with a win. So we kind of got robbed of that.
Yeah.
But again, lots of fucking nice knockouts, some submissions. Got a little bit of everything in the card yesterday for sure.
Yeah.
If you like MMA, no matter what kind, you saw it yesterday. It's kind of a sleeper too. Like on paper, this card did not look that exciting.
Well, it's like a lot of these cards. It seems like the preliminaries have been better than the main cards for the most part.
Honestly think it's the Apex, that small cage.
Yeah.
It makes fights better. It makes it more interesting. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and that's why we're seeing all these finishes. You don't see many cards go to the distance, right? Many fights go to the scorecards in the Apex, and I think it's something that UFC should really consider making a standard size cage, the smaller cage.
Yeah.
Again, I think the fights
force
are
the action.
Right, the fights are more fun to watch, and that's what they want to see, right?
Well, what about your whiskey and wage?
Let's go to some whiskey and wage. Actually, I'm getting professional here, everybody. We're about 3-4 months into this thing, so I'm actually treating this.
You see that? We're on that A4 paper.
I typed in everything, all that shit.
It's A4,
using that MacBook. So, it's all about ownership. What you did, whiskey and wagers. I placed that on there. Was it Friday night? Sipping that Howlerhead, future sponsor.
Come on,
my
Howler.
3 favorite bets. One was this guy, the Vanilla Gorilla, who got knocked out. So I did not win that one. I had Matthias to beat Manuel Kep, and again at an underdog rate, which that one did cash for me. Boo-hoo. Yep, got it. But I also had Misha Serkinov to win the first round. The fight ended in the first round for sure, but it wasn't the right guy who ended it. Again, I knew it was going to be a quick fight, so I thought the round 1 prop was worth it to put some extra juice. So at the end of the day, I was 1-3 at a little bit of a loss because I hit that underdog with Matthias for sure. As far as our DK, we every Thursday or Friday we post our rankings for DK. We did pretty well with our rankings. We both liked Jourdain in our 9K. I had him as the top guy, which he ended up being the top 9K guy. Tony as the second. We both liked J-Mart a little bit too much, which Davey Grant kind of shocked the world, got that knocked out. Eve Edwards, I'm going to call that as a wash because the fight didn't really happen. He had scored 8 points. We both thought he'd be the third highest 9K guy. Yeah. And again, we got robbed because of it. We had Ronnie Yaya on there as well as our 4th scoring. He actually did a lot better than we thought he would do. Scored 102. We did not rank Hasperath because at the point when we did it, he wasn't on the card yet, so we didn't do that one. And we thought Angela Hill would be the lowest scoring 5K, and she probably would have if
she was the most expensive too.
She only outscored J-Mart by 50 points. Yeah, which that's basically the win.
Now
that's basically the win.
Let's get into the value portion.
The value we both didn't do too well.
Oh, I had boy Davey on there.
You got 1 out of 5. Your Davey Grant hit for that knockout. My best was Rojo, but he lost a fight, so he didn't get that win bonus. He would have been up there. We both like Gavin Tucker, and that he was the worst fighter of the night. 0.04 points, so I'm gonna help you out there. We both like Yoder, who did really well, but she didn't get the decision. Yeah. You got to win the fight. We both like Mohammed again. That's kind of a wash. Like that fight didn't get the. I
think it's always a good rule of thumb to take underdog women sometimes as value plays.
Yeah, I mean that is the best. And even in betting, like women's MMA, especially if it's not like Amanda Nunes or Shevchenko or the top levels like the champions fighting. Women's MMA, it's always best to bet the dog because you never know. Armbar from guard's always there.
Like DK value, I like to look at 2 options. If you can find somebody cheap that has a high finishing rate.
And the underdog in the main event.
Stam it.
And the underdog in the main event. Head to head, we let up the show at this. I was going to try to, wait to do it to this. No,
we can do it again.
We're going to talk about it right now. Tony is
Bears repeating.
Tony has taken the lead early. Yeah, he's early in the year. We're about a quarter into the season so far. We got a long way to go.
I think there's a little feedback in the mic. Can you repeat what you just said?
Tony is in the league. So I think now that Tony's in the league, it's time to put some stakes on it again. So I can say he can't say that I was front running. He can't say that I was.
Let's put that Popeye's chicken sandwich on the stakes.
What's your terms?
I don't know.
Also, you guys watching or listening out there, you can always suggest steaks for us as well.
no
too.
fear factor shit, y'all.
Yeah, we're not eating
Otherwise,
shit or
you're not
dog
getting
dicks.
any podcasts.
But we'll do spicy stuff challenges. Anything you see on any kind of stupid videos you want to see us do, anything like that, we're willing to do. I'm not eating shit or dog dicks or none of that stuff. So, no, thank you, Joe Rogan. I've been watching a lot of that damn Chappelle show on fucking
Now that
Netflix.
it's back, yeah.
I don't know if you know this about me, Joe Rogan.
I think I just sit here and go to sleep.
But
Joe
Tony's
Rogan.
up 59, 44, and 1 on the year. And I'm at 56, 47, and 1 on the year.
What?
So the positive thing is we're both above 500, everybody. We're both above 50 cents. So if you are rolling with us on our picks, you are winning more than you're losing. So
Unless you're parlaying shit.
don't ever parlay.
Don't parlay shit.
Parlay for fun.
Yeah. If you're gonna play
for a dollar,
50 cent,
Yeah.
$1, but don't lay
at most $5. At the very
At
most,
most
$5. Just have some fun with it, and if it hits, like, you're happy. But do not.
Like I always do.
Especially not MMA.
Yeah.
Too much shit can happen in an MMA fight to parlay people. But again, that's how Whiskey and Wagers hit this week.
I always do a $1 parlay with all my picks.
I didn't have any parlays.
It usually gets you a
yesterday.
couple $1,000.
I've been gravitating a little bit more to the props. I did lay some bets that I didn't put on the Whiskey and Wagers just because this is more me. Like, I'm gonna throw this out there, fucking see what happens. Like, one was the under 1.5 for the first fight, or that was actually a hedge for me for the wet fight because I knew Smelzberger had a shot. But another one I had was I had fucking Courtney Casey by decision. Another reason why I wasn't too happy about that goddamn decision being turned.
Courtney Casey is a good play. A good play and a good
again. Women's MMA lean towards the underdog. It's most likely the fight. Sometimes too, your bets don't have to line up with who you think's going to win the fight. Right? If you see a good value, take that bet. If you see somebody who's maybe wins that fight 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 times, but is a plus 300 underdog, take that fight. Or if you know, this guy is very vulnerable to a choke, and this guy does have a good guillotine, take that underdog because it could fucking happen, and you're paying off. Whereas you take the favorite, it's not even worth betting.
Yeah.
It's so sometimes it's dog or bust.
pretty much anything above a minus 150.
And fight your degenerate side. It's fun to have a little action on every bet on every fight, but fight that side. Again, always stay within your range. But yeah, you'll have more Whiskey and Wagers throughout the week. We did okay this week. It was a strange fucking card. It was a strange with the DQs and the bad decisions and stuff like that. So again, it was hard to call this week. Again, I think like the DraftKings winners had 2 losers, or at least 1 loser and a no contest inside their fucking winning lineup.
Yeah, like I placed in my DraftKings tourney. I got 233rd or some shit.
Well, I had
won $8.
I had Courtney Casey in most of my lines. I think she was in the optimal.
I had Anders in mine, DQ.
Or Anders.
And I had Tucker at .1.
Anders was in the optimal
04,
and he got a no contest. If Misha Serkinov would have won that fight, I would have been much better on DraftKings. But that's how it goes.
Well, I did great just with Span, Semmelsberger, and Yaya.
Right.
Those guys got me.
Wasn't a great night for me, but I'd bounce back Sunday. We're all good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to another fight night coming up.
Kind
here.
of a lateral card in a way of the
calm before the storm. But again, we thought this card was gonna be a snoozer.
I'm like strictly speaking name wise.
Listen,
things
folks.
like that.
We thought last night was going to be a fucking snoozer, and it was a fun card to watch. So, that being said, it should be a good main event for sure. And I'm torn like a motherfucker.
Well, let's unpack it. All right. So we got Kevin Holland taking on Derek Brunson. Kevin Holland, Fighter of the Year.
I love Kevin Holland. Everything about him. Skilled Violence athlete. Another future sponsor of the show. I'm throwing that out there as well. Skilled Violence apparel. Again, on the 2020, maybe the best year for any fighter in UFC history, right? Ended it on that knockout of the year against Jacare Souza, against Derek Brunson, who's a kind of forgotten man who's dangerous in that middleweight division.
Yeah, I could see Brunson winning this fight. I can see Holland winning this fight. I think it might be fight of the night. Yeah. I think it could be a really good scrap.
I don't think it goes the distance.
I think you're going to get some good grappling ground exchanges. I think you're going to get some good standing exchanges. I think it's going to be a good MMA fight.
Do you think Brunson has a shot if it goes to the floor? I don't.
I can see him doing some decent top game.
I think Holland's.
But I think Holland's active guard, you can see some shit like Jacare.
He can sub Brunson. Now, if it stays in the feet, I think Brunson could put him to sleep.
But I could also see Holland putting him to sleep too. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know.
This is a good matchup for sure, and that's what makes it hard to pick because I think this is for sure. Though I think we're in agreement on this. The toughest competition that Holland has faced on this run.
Yeah,
Jacare had his moment in the sun, but he's getting up there in age. I'm not saying he's bad or wasn't. He's lost or anything like that. But Brunson is still in his prime. Brunson is still in the mix. He just beat Edwin Shabazian last year. That everyone thought he was the new hotness, right? He already ended one of those hot streaks already. Is he the guy that ended Kevin Holland? It's gonna be a fun fight.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that fight. Actually, again, that's one reason why I don't show.
I want Kevin Holland to win. Therefore, I'm gonna roll with Derek Brunson.
Oh, good.
I think I'm Derek
I need to
Brunson.
make up some grounds. I'm going with Kevin Holland. I'm going with Big Mouth.
We'll go Derek Brunson to win.
All right. Well, Kevin Holland is favorite to win that fight. All right. Now we got Man Bun.
Yeah, Gregor Gillespie. When's the
comeback
last time he fought? Head kick
Kevin Lee
KO,
put
Kevin
him
Lee.
to fucking sleep. Yeah, he's been sleeping since. That was his first loss, right?
Yeah, and we got Brad Riddell. He just came off a victory.
Yeah.
When the whole city kickboxing
Right.
squad was on that card.
This is another tough one to call.
It's a tough fight to call. Brad Riddell's physical. He's good. He's technical.
Gillespie's that great wrestling.
Yeah, I think Gillespie's gonna win this fight.
I do too. I think he's gonna be a Khabib's type performance.
Yeah, I
where
think he's
just
gonna smother him. He's a wet
Maybe
blanket.
Khabib, Islam Makhachev
Yeah.
type performance. Riddell's a gamer. If we come back on Sunday and we're both wrong on that fight, I would not be surprised. But I'm rolling with Gillespie.
I just don't think Riddell's gonna have time to set up his game.
I think Gillespie comes off that knockout loss to Kevin Lee. He's been out since the last time Gillespie fought. There was fans. So that's how long it's been since he's had a fight. So he's been sitting on that loss for this time, and I think he's going to come back. And we kind of talked about it yesterday. The layoff is up and down, right? Some people looks great, some people doesn't, but he wasn't laid off because of injury.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come out, and he's going to fucking just maul him and win. Probably a decision, I would say, 30-27, Gregor Gillespie.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right.
Bam, bam.
So this next one, everybody find your boot. We're all going to drink from it.
Yeah, bam,
because
bam.
Tuivasa is gonna win this fight.
Dontel Mays.
He's a slow starter. He's not very active.
Right, and he just has power, right? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Tuivasa is kind of the same way, but he's way more skilled on the feet. Tuivasa is what, the modern day Mark Hunt?
Yeah.
Can we call him that? Is that too much of a compliment?
Mark Hunt Jr. Mark
Right,
Hunt Jr.
right.
You know?
Bam Bam loves to do his shoeys after he wins the fucking fight.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna put Dontel
Maybe
Mays
we'll
out.
do some shoeys on the podcast.
I want to look and see what the under 1.5 is on this one because I'm definitely gonna bet that.
So who do you think is going to win?
Tuivasa.
Tai Tuivasa. Bam Bam.
Yeah, we're gonna go Tuivasa here.
All right, let's keep going with it.
This next one, I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with Max.
I'm
Payne
actually feeling
Griffin.
Max Payne too. I thought you were gonna go with Song Kenan.
Nah, I'm gonna go with Max Griffin on this.
Yeah, Max came out his last fight. Who did he have his last fight?
I know, but he looked fucking
He
good.
looked fucking sharp, man.
He
I
was
bet against
piecing
him his
him
last
up.
time, and he
Yeah.
fucking made me look like an asshole.
Yeah, he was boxing dude up. Yeah.
I don't really.
I don't know much about Song Kenan. I
Right.
think he is the favorite though. I think
Max Griffin is the favorite.
Max
Right.
Griffin's the favorite.
Yeah, minus 162.
Yeah,
It's pretty close.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Max Griffin on this.
Yeah, me too. I think.
I thought
okay.
Song was the favorite.
Yeah, I totally shit all over Max Griffin his last. I forget who he
Yeah.
fought last. But I was like,
But he looked great.
He looked awesome in that fight.
All right, let's keep rolling.
Okay, so we got
The first ever
One half of the
married
Baez.
couple. How fucked up is it that JP got stuck on the fucking prelim and she gets main guard? What kind of shit is that?
she is better looking.
Yeah, but she's a last second replacement.
Well, this is interesting because she was supposed to fight Kay Hansen, and Kay Hansen dropped
Hansen.
out, and
But she-
Ruiz is the.
Oh, I thought it was the
replacement.
other way around. I thought she replaced Kay Hansen.
No, Kay Hansen dropped out. Now they just threw in this Ruiz chick as of like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
A day ago.
I got it backwards.
I was gonna originally go with Hansen. Now I'm obviously gonna roll with Baez here. But I don't know. I don't know much about Ruiz.
I want to look
Baez
into
is
Ruiz.
a huge favorite.
But she's
at
another contender
negative
coming off the contender
360,
series, you know?
75.
I'm not a big fan of her husband either. I picked against him in the contender series. He won, obviously.
Yeah.
It was an ugly win.
We'll get to him in a bit.
Yeah, he's on there too. Well,
My boy Roman.
All right, so this, I think I'm gonna go Chiesa on here. I think we already broke down that fight.
Yeah, I was. Because he got replaced or whatever like that. Was supposed to be moved. I was on right now. You were on Chase.
I'll probably take a bathroom break, but I'll go with Chiesa on with that one.
Another one to not know much about.
I'm gonna go Grant Dawson, KGB, dude's beast. I think he'll beat Santos.
Yeah.
Let's see what this next one. What do you think?
I'm all about Roman Doldiz.
I'm gonna go Trevin Giles.
You're mad because he didn't score high.
I'm going Trevin Giles. I think people sleep on Trevin Giles.
I think Tony is mad because he had Roman Doldiz in DraftKings one day, and he didn't totally mop the floor, but he won a unanimous decision where
I spent what $8,900 on him or some
he
shit.
still scored like 90 points. He got 10x back. But anyway, and he's gonna let Reese. Tony's terrible at recency bias, guys. You can't let that get you. But Doldiz
says the one down by 3 picks, guys.
but I'm up on bets.
Well, you do lay a lot more than me.
Yeah, I'm up on bets, and I think Doldiz might get this done in under 2.5. Again, Doldize, every fight before that last one was a first round finish.
Giles is gonna knock him out.
And he didn't get a first round finish. Like, who did he fight that last fight? But he fucking mauled him for 3 rounds. Was on top of him, and it was one side.
I think he's gonna gas.
I think he's gonna knock him the fuck out. He's gonna put Giles to sleep. I'm glad that we're gonna see. You see all these fights. This is where the difference. I'm gonna be right back in first place by the end of next week. So it's all good.
Well, let's go on to the next one.
I'm going Montel Jackson.
Yeah, Montel Jackson.
If you don't got a fucking picture, I can't pick you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Montel Jackson is minus 560.
What?
Yes.
He's a contender series guy too, right?
Yeah, I think
so.
Is plus 400.
They didn't even give a picture. He looks like
I feel like I'm putting $10 on that plus 400.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
might
Come
as well.
on,
Shit, you
man.
never know.
You know what's gonna
This
happen.
the opener.
Yeah, I don't know much. I know. I watched Anthony
seen
Burchak.
for fighting. I'm not too impressed. I don't remember much. Anthony Birdchest.
Well, I think he fought. Was it Gustavo Lopez or somebody last time out? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Eduardo is underdog.
I think there might be
a
a
slight favorite at 120.
want to Rochambeau for it?
What is it? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Burchak.
I'm gonna go with Eduardo. Fuck it. This is bit my lead a little bit higher.
So
Well, that's next week's UFC.
Again, on paper, everyone's gonna say this is a bullshit card. This card sucks. I can't believe. But guess what? Sometimes those cards are the most fun. There's fucking crazy knockouts. There's these nobodies that are trying to make a name for themselves on fucking ESPN Plus, national broadcast. So you might see some cool shit.
Yeah.
Well, also, if you want to make a boring fight fun, put a few bucks on it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's it.
Then you're invested.
Sports gambling's legal almost in the whole country now, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't lose your house and home.
Right,
Like,
just put
because
10,
the
20
shit's
bucks
the shit's
total on it.
addicting.
Yeah, stay within it. The unit system's really good. I usually don't put my units in there. I can let you guys do that. But basically, a unit is 1% of your bankroll. So let's say your bankroll is $100. One unit is $1. If you have less bankroll than that, just put a couple units on it. If you're confident, probably about a 5-unit bet, right? That's what you want to look at. If you're super confident, 10, maybe highest, and then work from there. And then build that bankroll up. Don't try to raise your unit bets. Try to raise your bankroll so the units count for more. That's what you should
It's
be
going to be a
trying to do.
grind at the start.
Right.
Build
your bank.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I just started using DraftKings Sportsbook, maybe a month, 6 weeks ago. And the worst I did was that Paulo Costa fight, right? But every other fucking time I've bet, I've made money.
Right.
And I've pulled my money. I think I initially put $100 into the sports book, and I've pulled well over $100 out of it, and my bankroll is like 150 right now.
And then, you've been smart with the values. So you've been taking these live dogs, and that's the ones that pay you out and keep you going. Like we were talking about before we went on air, Stipe is the fucking underdog right now. Now, I'm not saying that Francis Ngannou's not going to win that fight, and there's no way he can get it done. But when you get the world champion, arguably the best heavyweight of all time at an underdog money, take that shit.
Right.
Take that fucking bet. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just some of the stuff I'm just really looking at the swings here, and what was the Davey fight last night? Like I was like,
Davey
here we
Grant.
go. I'm gonna put $10
If you
on
don't
it.
like Davey Grant, fuck you.
UFC store. We need a Davy Grant fucking T-shirt. UFC store. Davy Grant T-shirt.
Or Davey Grant, do you have it? Reach out to
Yeah,
us.
Davey
If you
Grant.
got, if you
Come
got
on.
your own merch shop, let us know. I doubt Davey Grant has a fucking merch.
We need to get
That would
Davey-
be so un-Davey
Yeah.
Grant to have a merch shop. That would not work.
We need Davy Grant and the Brick Flick over here.
There
We
you
need
go.
those two.
Brick
But yeah,
Flick's like a fight
you
coming
know,
up.
he netted me $25 yesterday.
Yeah.
So on a $10 bet.
Yeah.
All
Davy
right,
for the people.
let's go on. Tony Ferguson. Is this
man.
Tony Ferguson's last fight or what?
If he loses, I think it
Dariush?
is.
Yeah,
This is a
he's
tough
done.
fight for Tony Ferguson.
This is not gonna be easy. It's a tough fight for Dariush too. Come on, let's not pretend that Tony Ferguson is terrible.
Oh, listen.
now.
I think Tony Ferguson is a tough fight for anybody.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And Dariush is gonna kind of play into where Tony wants to fight. We didn't get much.
How broken is Tony Ferguson though?
I don't think he's broken. He might just be slower. He's not mentally broken for sure because that motherfucker's crazy. Like you're not gonna mentally break Tony Ferguson, but is he a little bit slower? Is he chinny? But he's not chinny either because even Gaethje couldn't stop him.
No.
Like we had him fight.
Dude, he just shook it off and the refs are out there.
Yeah. The rest had to stop that fight, and Oliveira just held that fucking dominant. We talked about the Oliveira fucking fight too many times already. Like he held that dominant position, but it wasn't like he beat the shit out of Tony Ferguson.
No.
He won the fight. Like, right? He won the fight. He controlled the action and he won the fight. So I think especially if Tony Ferguson, I'm picking Tony Ferguson. I'm never gonna not pick Tony Ferguson. Though, fuck you. But if he's an underdog,
he was on a 12-fight winning
right and beating
streak,
top names.
Have they released the odds for this yet?
I don't know if they
not on
released
DK, but I mean we can go to best fight odds and see.
But if Tony Ferguson's an underdog, I'm definitely laying money on Tony Ferguson in this fight. 'Cause I think Dariush is going to try to play into his fight. Dariush came really close in one of his best knockouts he's had last year to getting knocked out against close. What do you got?
What do you think? What do you think the odds are?
Ferguson plus 250.
I have no clue.
Ferguson plus 135.
I'm taking Tony Ferguson.
Dariush is a minus 165.
You might have to buy that right now because I think people are going to start taking Ferguson at that price.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it could be a pretty good fight. Edson Barboza's on that with Shane Burgos.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a really good. Shane Burgos, if you see Shane Burgos' name on a card, watch that fucking fight.
That's going to be an interesting size matchup, too. Those are two big guys for featherweight, too.
He can't finish
Shevchenko's on there, too.
Yeah.
Which Shevchenko?
Antonia versus KGB Lee. That'll be a little smoke
You
show.
have a break there for Chikagian?
Vivian Arujau.
There's a lot of women fights.
Yeah.
Gina Mazzani, Priscilla Cochea.
Caitlin, Gina.
I'm taking Priscilla for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Dariush in the Ferguson fight. I just think Ferguson has just been battered. I don't know.
I honestly,
he hates Tony Ferguson. People don't let him to say.
I don't hate Tony Ferguson.
He says he sucked.
I think this
He said
that. The moment
he said, he didn't say he sucked. He said Tony Ferguson was never that good.
I think he's overrated.
Kind of the same thing.
You watered it down.
No, overrated and not that good. What's the difference?
I was being a little bit nicer.
I
was churching it up, man. Come on.
I think this could be the resurgence of Ferguson. Personally, I think this could be the
Jody has spoken.
Of,
so
another 5-fight win streak.
Jody doesn't chime in much.
I think for Dariush, and if he doesn't beat Dariush, that's it. It's time. Tony, please walk away before you're fucking. Get killed in the cage.
I think this is, if
it's not that Dariush is bad either, but
like
you don't want to see Tony Ferguson hang around fighting nobodies. Like you don't want to see that happen because that's gonna be the next step. If you lose to Dariush, you're fighting people who aren't in the top 15 trying to make a name.
Yeah, you're already on the edge right there.
Like exactly.
I guess I didn't realize Ferguson's 37 years old.
And how old's Dariush?
Dariush is
31.
I mean, he's salt
Dariush
and pepper.
is 31, so he's getting up there too.
Yeah.
All right, well let's keep rolling with it. What else we got?
This I can't fucking my boy Darren.
I can't place my finger on this
Marvin
fight.
Vettori.
Could we finally see?
I'm going Vettori in this fight.
Till fighting off his back a lot of the time in this fight. I don't know.
Darren Till gets to the big fight and loses. That's Darren Till's MO. I work my way to the big fight. I beat the people I'm supposed to beat.
Sometimes he doesn't work. He just puts there. He just put there. It's like they want this guy to be.
Plus, let's remember that Vettori looked like a murderer against Jack Ranson. Like he looked like a next level bring on Izzy type performance he put on in that fight. 5 rounds, gas tank to the roof, did not slow down one bit, and manhandled Jack Ranson throughout the whole. You heard him too. Like, he broke his eye socket, was it?
Yeah.
Broke his orbital bone.
I mean, I want to see Till. I want to see Till get a highlight. I really do. Like I like Till's personality. I like got a great sense of humor and stuff. I just think Vettori's going to win this fight too.
He's better all around.
Yeah, I think Vettori's going to win.
Darren Till. Now, if Darren Till head kicks him and puts him to sleep, I would not be the shock that he's
he
so
can hit him with that
big.
left too.
But every time I've seen somebody get a hold of Darren Till, it's been over.
Yeah,
like that Woodley fight. The minute Woodley grabbed him, it was over. Whitaker kind of fucking outclassed him. It's just. I think Vettori put down on ABC too. Welcome back to ABC.
Yeah, they're going back to ABC.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll roll with Vettori.
All right, let's keep going with it.
This is stud.
What else we got?
I love Darren Till though. I just love his follow. Karen Till.
We already kind of mentioned the eye poke here. Do you both feel like, when I saw it, like Mohammed just instantly just fell to the ground screaming.
Right.
Like maybe it was that bad, but I felt like maybe he.
Well,
I
don't think the scream was necessarily from pain. I think it was the realization of what's about to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to take this fight away from me, and I'm going to lose my biggest opportunity.
But I felt
in my
like
life.
he jumped to that position instantly. Like, I mean, people get like shot with a gun, and they're like still fighting to figure out what's going on, and he like instantly jumped to this place, I think in his mind that like this is over, this is done, like didn't have a moment to assess the situation,
which is very strange too, because that's not Bilal's MO.
But you
we
gotta
saw
think,
him take
like,
those fucking leg kicks his last fight and just step forward.
Yeah.
Like he's known for his toughness.
I think it's like a lot of like it's the frustration aspect of it. Like you got into this spot, like you took the chance, right? Like you're like, damn, this is
Shot
a
your
I have
shot.
to seize this opportunity.
Shot your shot.
And now I'm here. If I win this fight, I could probably be one fight away from a title shot. And then that shit happens from an. I think it's more just fucking frustration, and you're just pissed off.
Right.
You're like, why? Matter of fact, whether he was losing in that first round or not, like you still had 4 more rounds to go.
4 more rounds ago.
Right.
You know, I think he's just frustrated by it.
Yeah, it
you
was
know?
definitely. I mean, the evidence is there. Like clearly, he got a serious poke, and
Right.
it wasn't good.
And it's a lot of frustration. You know, Bilal's a cool guy. He's
And he
fucking-
did say I can continue.
Yeah.
I don't remember
The
that.
doctor stopped it. No,
Yeah,
he
the
said,
doc-
"Could you go?" Yeah,
Yeah.
and the doctor
Okay.
stopped it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on. There's a little bit of going back to last week's fight, UFC 259.
Continuing the Sterling drama.
Matt
biggest heel
Serra's
turn,
a little
right?
hurt and disrespected from not being in the corner
not even
of
really
Sterling,
healing.
and has
Yeah.
Kinda
retired
bitchy.
as a corner coach. I don't know. I mean, I've never been in a an actual fight like that. I don't know.
But Sarah's pretty much like groomed
Right.
Sterling.
Right.
You know, and this is Sterling's biggest moment, and then you don't invite someone who's pretty much groomed you to the big show.
But
Like,
here's the thing too.
I get it. You
Like
know?
Luongo was still there. Aren't Serra and Luongo like this?
Mm.
So why wasn't he in the loop of what was happening from that for Luongo? So why is he not taking anything out of Ray Luongo either?
Yeah.
Like they've been together forever. Those two. You know.
Matt Serra's a great coach too. You know.
Right.
Yeah,
but
there's
wasn't he
Luongo's tan. as
Eljo
fuck in
like
that
training with someone else
That
like
was
prior to
blackface.
this
Ian
fight?
Quinta.
Right?
What is
Like,
it?
Wasn't he Eljo training with someone else
Yeah.
during this fight? So
yeah,
like
but he was there for striking, wasn't he?
Yeah.
maybe that. Yeah, I guess.
And that could be what it is. Sarah's a wrestling guy.
right.
You know, more of a grappling guy. He had Luongo there to help him with that. You know, it could be that. I guess Sarah said Sarah said he still wishes for the best for him, right?
Yeah.
But he said that I just don't want to corner nobody no more. And he was more frustrated by how it went down more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it just needed to have that like phone call or whatever. Like, hey man, this is what I'm doing. Maybe because what I read from it, he just seemed really kind of blindsided by it too.
Yeah, right.
So like, I
The
think if
communication
Aljo was like,
thing.
hey man, this is what I'm doing. You know, you're my guy. I appreciate everything you've done. And I'm not saying I'm never going to use you again, but for whatever reason,
Has
I
Aljo
decided to
spoken
go
out
this
on
way.
it? I heard Sarah's piece.
I don't
I
think
haven't
so.
seen-
And there's two sides to every story.
Right.
Of
So
course.
I want to hear kind of both sides. I want to see what Luongo has to say too.
I want to see what Peter Yan has to say about this.
What did he say? Hey, that's also too like. I want to say any bullshit about that being a language barrier. Peter Yan, the way you talk shit on Twitter, you understand English very, very well, and that's not some Google Translate shit. I know the stuff that happens in Google Translate. It's you know what you're saying, or you got a great PR person, whatever the fuck it may be. But whoever's handling your Twitter account understands the English language very, very well. So that was not a reason why he didn't do that. And there's no debate. You had a legal knee, Peter.
Right.
There's no debate
It's
on
okay,
that.
Piotr. You'll get your belt back. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, he'll have a shot.
Just chill.
All right, let's keep rolling here. We got a separation and
Yeah.
an opposite of an
She's
entanglement.
Fought all her fights on the contract.
Megan Anderson no longer with the UFC.
She's already talking about, other possibilities outside of the UFC overseas. So I think that's where she'll be.
Listen, we talked about this. I talked about it. We talked about it at the end of the year show. We've been talking about it every fucking show because there's nobody in that division. The UFC featherweight division is a fucking relic. It's a dinosaur. It's dead. Like, what is going on here? Why do we still have this thing? Is it solely to
Well,
sell
it has like
Amanda
6 fighters,
Nunes?
5 fighters.
Then none of them are ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nobody in the rankings. You got rid of Cyborg. That the division was created for Cyborg because she couldn't cut down to 135.
Yeah, go over there to PFL and play around with,
Kayla Harrison.
Kayla Harrison.
Or her beat the
and
shit
then-
out of you and maybe fight, what's her name, the boxer?
Or go
Clarissa
to
Shields.
Or go to Bellator and mess with Julia Budd and some of those people.
Right.
No.
This doesn't belong to the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's saying here, go back to Bellator and fight Cyborg.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I don't think she should. The way she performed against fucking Nunes, she should.
Yeah,
rethink
she
her
took
fighting
she
career.
took one punch and was already wanting to get the
She
fuck out of
fucking
there.
went fetal quick.
Yeah.
And you saw that in her press conference. I even tweeted about it when she's talking about she's never fought a featherweight that can have power like me.
Yeah.
She didn't really look confident in
Nunes
herself.
did
in
the
that bullshit.
Habib mercy. I'll give her a chance to tap instead
Yeah.
of beating the shit out of her.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, maybe she's too worried about. Maybe Casey Kenny just broke her confidence. I think that's what it is. I think Casey Kenny just fucked up her confidence. That's why she lost that fight. So I don't know. Peace out. I was never that big fan of Megan Anderson. Tony picked her. He didn't want to.
Did I?
He bet on her.
No, I just laid money for plus
I did
2,600
too.
sub prop. Why
I
not?
think I put $5
I'll
on
put a buck on it.
You should have gave me 50 cents. We both would have more money right now.
All right. Dana White says he's putting $1 million on Askren to beat Jake Paul.
I'm kind of with it. I don't have $1 million to bet, but I'm going with Ben Askren.
I'm with Dana White too, man. I think.
Did you guys see him on Hotboxing?
I saw the clip. I saw the clip.
I mean, it's like it's a really short.
Is that Zab Judah in there too with him?
Yeah, Zab and Mike and no Piven. Jeremy Piven's been hosting a lot of Hotboxing.
But I saw the clip where he saw him. There's no fuck way, and I kind of agree with this. Look. Ben Askren, people see the videos. He's not a great boxer. He's not a good boxer. Yeah. But he's a better fighter.
Well, even Zab was kind of like, because Zab's been training, I guess, with him or alongside him. Yeah. And, Dana, like, directly goes, like, hey, Zab, is he a fighter? You know? And Zab's like, yeah. Like, not, he's like, he can punch. But he's definitely wasn't selling it as like seasoned. He's a badass. Right?
He's not seasoned in boxing. Like he knocked out a basketball player. Like, that's what he did. That's what he took over the world. And I think that Ben Askren's going to go in there and look like fucking Floyd and dip and dodge and look like Canelo. No, but he's going to handle himself in that ring. He's been in real fights before. He's been against people that strike way better than Jake Paul does. There's nothing that Jake Paul is going to do that's going to surprise him. Yeah. And I think he's going to outwork him. And I would love
to see. And we're talking 12 extra ounces on those gloves,
and I would love to see what Jake Paul looks like in round 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Like let's see what you do in that round, how you're going to feel in there. I think that just grit alone is going to win this fight for Ben Askren. And Jake Paul is going to go back to YouTube. But he's going to have a ton of money. He's going to make money off this shit. And he's going to be able to coerce somebody else to do it. Yeah. Right. It's going to just keep happening. He's young, though, too. So he has a lot of time to get better. He really does. If he sticks to training boxing, he's just putting himself in the big show before he has to be there. And so, again, I just think Askren's going to have I think it's going to be a boring fucking fight to watch.
Cash cow.
It's not going to be fun at all. But Askren's going to be able to eke out a win because he knows how to win.
Well, I mean, I think that Frank Mir fight's going to be pretty
yeah. Frank Mir's a fucking beast, man.
All right. I think that might be it. I don't know what I've got up. Oh, I just pulled up some pictures of the eye poke from
Bilal Mohammed.
The sunglasses. So him.
Got that petition going around for them to bring back Dan Hardy.
Yeah, Dan Hardy.
Can't even have a simple disagreement anymore.
So I don't. They didn't really talk about the disagreement was.
He released a statement. They haven't released what officially went down. Details. But it was a disagreement with a female coworker. Yeah. They disagreed on something that was work related. Yeah. But I guess he had said something that offended her, and he's waiting to hear back what he.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't too bad because of the shit that gets out in the media. They call bad fucking things would be out there already by now. So if it was something that was that bad, you'd have heard by now what it was for sure.
Right. Yeah. I think he actually posted something today or yesterday.
And he's still like loosely affiliated with him too.
Yeah, and the other BT Sport hasn't released him fully yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he released a statement.
Going with someone else. This is 22 hours ago. Unintentional rules. I swore somebody talked about like he's going to be working for someone else.
Well, also this is new job.
New opportunity here.
Well, plus he's got his channel that's pretty Full Reptile is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's got some good shit, War Room and stuff on there.
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, he's just got kind of.
Well, you saw after all that shit went down, they were talking a lot about him and Matt Brown, but they found another fight for Matt Brown.
Yeah,
I can't remember who he's fighting, but.
Yeah, I wish I could find what I saw earlier, but it doesn't look like it.
It makes sense. He's the fucking outlaw, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to get in trouble when you're an outlaw.
Issue statement on Fight Island incident.
That was 3 days ago, but I feel like there was something that happened like 2 days ago. No, Dan Hardy. I don't know. Well, next week we'll probably be able to address.
There'll probably be way more details that came out and all that stuff.
Or what he's doing then. But I think that's it. You guys got anything else you want to... No, we're good? All right.
No,
well,
man. Izzy won 1, 2, and 3. That's
feels good to be on top.
Stand them up, right?
Stand them up.
Stand them up.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow us, blah, 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 all those fun things that you hear on every podcast.
2 weeks out from our next pay-per-view, we'll get the Twitch stream.
Have
a good time.
260, is it?
260, Stipe Nagano.
Big boys going at it. A couple title fights, too. There's another title fight on that card.
Yeah, Volkanovski, Ortega.
Yeah, there you go. That's another one.
Awesome. All right. See you soon. Bye.
Later.